Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about inflation. We're going to talk about how they're fast-tracking CBDCs, just a little bit of everything. So let's take a look. It's, of course, a possibility that in this instance, the inflation we're seeing wasn't created by central banks, though we should hope that an inflation targeting central bank can come reasonably close to hitting its inflation target if it knows what it's doing. Central banks are inflation creators, not inflation fighters. Inflation doesn't come from nowhere. Now, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said inflation came from nowhere. Why do they lie? Do they think we're idiots? And we know where inflation comes from. So inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon in the sense that it is and can be produced only by a more rapid increase in the quantity of money than in output. It's the same here in the US. If they pass some sort of bill that's supposed to help me and you, right away they have to turn on the printer to pay for that bill. It's the same thing that's going on throughout the rest of the world. And at the same time, debt and inflation is rising. So the Rothschild family are the top dogs at the Federal Reserve. These criminals and their cronies have been manipulating the fiat money system since 1971, which was created from thin air and is not backed by anything valuable, like gold. The world got dribbled. And that's the thing. Right now, our money is backed by empty promises and a ton of debt. And it's just being propped up at this point. But wait until the BRICS countries come up with a currency backed by gold. That's going to be a game changer throughout the world. That's why we need to go back to the gold standard. Control the world. Sunak proposes a central bank digital currency for the UK. According to Sunak, a type of money that could potentially be used by Brits as early as 2025. Now, I think he's going to have a hard time rolling this out. I think people over there are starting to wake up and realize what's really going on. We're going to see protest against this. I could see it already happening at some point. But they're trying to fast track everything now. The Bank of England on its website said it was considering central bank digital currency because it said the way people are choosing to pay for things is changing. So if we were to continue to pay in actual paper money, they would not think this is a good idea. Is that what they're saying? They would still try to roll this out, in my opinion. They want that control over me and you. Reddit. In the wake of China, Asia is taking a lead in central bank digital currencies. Europe and America remain in the background for the moment. And that's the thing. China is full steam ahead with this, as well as the rest of the BRICS countries. They're moving forward with innovation. The US is still being left behind thanks to the SEC. But it's kind of a good thing that we're being left behind right now, because I'd like to see what happens in the rest of the world when they start really going live with all of these CBDCs. But also, I believe in the background here in the US, they're probably working on this as we speak. Dystopian nightmare. China, a police drone comes towards you on the highway. You need to quickly scan the QR code. If it does not come back green, you cannot pass the checkpoint. Free movement is being restricted. Population is controlled using QR codes. That could be coming here at some point in the future. This is most likely going to happen in the UK first, because that guy wants to push a CBDC as soon as possible. Let's take a look at the difference between two forms of digital money, Bitcoin and central bank digital currencies. Bitcoin, spend without permission. CBDC requires permission to spend. But here's the thing. Bitcoin is not going to be the answer. I don't hate Bitcoin. It's part of crypto. And I like all crypto. But the thing is, Bitcoin had its day. It's data technology. And it's still going to be around in years to come. It's just not going to be as valuable as it is now, in my opinion. Because at some point, they're going to just stop the use of Bitcoin. You can't run a society separate from a society under a CBDC. They would never allow it. Important and urgent argument from author Zolik. It is legal and with President to seize Russia's central bank assets and give to Ukraine relief. There's precedence for transferring the more than 300 billion in frozen reserves as compensation. Now, I don't know what's really going on over there, but every time they talk about doing something to hurt Russia, isn't that just fueling the fire? Why don't they come to peace talks? I don't think anyone wants to talk about peace. There's too much money at play with this war right now. The sad thing is, though, is there's innocent people getting killed in the meantime. There's innocent people suffering because of this continuing. Why don't they sit down and talk this out already? It's been going on far too long. The Central Bank of Kazakhstan will incorporate its CBDC on BNB chain. So it's not just XRP, XLM, and a few other cryptocurrencies. Now BNB is also getting involved as well. Plan. Not only will it deliver a devastating blow to the German economy, but the economy of the entire EU will inevitably collapse. President, EU countries in recession, severe energy crisis, protest against inflation, France, net energy exporter turned into energy importer. That's where we are right now with what's going on in the world. And this is moving very quick. But this is all crisis after crisis, and it's man-made. It's inflation, it's energy, it's going green, all at the same time. But in the background, they're building CBDCs as well. That's the real hidden agenda. That's what they don't want you looking at. And at some point, XRP is going to be implemented into all of this. That on-demand liquidity is so much more important than people know. Wait till the world falls into that liquidity crisis. Watch how fast they usher in XRP. XRP is and will always be the answer to any liquidity crisis. Keep that in mind. That's where those high numbers that people talk about come from. The $10,000 XRP, the $100 XRP, the $1,000 XRP, all comes from on-demand liquidity. The trust layer, XRP moving money from one country to another country. And no matter how much the Bitcoin maxis want to FUD all over XRP and say that Bitcoin's going to be the chosen one, they're absolutely wrong. They also like to tell you it's the devil's coin. Don't invest in it because it's not good for the rest of the world. That is part of the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum. You should not be buying XRP, period. But the thing is, we know that's the way we get rich. We know this society is coming at some point because the world is already fast-tracking CBDCs. The only thing we can do now is hope that somebody good comes into play that wants to use CBDCs for the technology, not to enslave the world. I just want to keep your eyes open to all of this. That's why I talk about it so much. It's not the fact that I'm for a CBDC at all. I'm not. I don't think this is going to be good for anyone. The more you see what goes on in China, the more you don't want it. Think about it like that. Take a good look at the way their system and their society is being ran right now. Because that's what we will get when we get a CBDC. That's how they keep you and me in line. And I'd rather not have a CBDC, I've said it in countless videos, and be poor than to have a CBDC and be rich. But you do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to keep your eyes open. That's what this is all about. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you watching all my videos. Some are better than others, I'm sure. I just want to get the word out there because I know our mainstream media is not talking about it at all, and people need to keep their eyes open and be awake. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.